In the recent episode of WWE Raw, Jey Uso's Intercontinental Championship reign came to an end when Braun Breaker dethroned him as champion. This occurred during the main event of the Red Brand, where the YET Master was distracted and attacked by Bloodline 2.0. This allowed Braun to capitalize and pin the Samoan twin. In this article, we will focus on 4 potential reasons why Jey Uso lost his IC title on the latest edition of Monday Night Raw. Former WWE employee says he got an uneasy vibe from Vince McMahon here. One of the major reasons behind Jey Uso's loss on the recent Raw could be WWE's plan to have Jey return to the Bloodline saga. Roman Reigns has already initiated a war against Solo Sikoa and is lacking numbers on his side, even with Jimmy Uso. Ever since Reigns returned, it was evident that a Bloodline civil war would unfold between the new Bloodline and the original Bloodline. WWE wanting Jey to rejoin the family drama could be a key reason behind his title loss. It wouldn't make sense to have the Intercontinental Championship involved in the Bloodline storyline, where the title holds no relevance. When the YET Master won the Intercontinental Championship, many believed he was never meant to be a long-term champion. Jey Uso's reign lasted only around 28 days, which came as a major shock considering his immense popularity. However, the reason behind Jey losing the IC title on the recent Raw could be that WWE never intended for him to hold the championship for long, knowing he would soon return to the Bloodline saga. The title might have been placed on his shoulders simply to give him his first singles championship in his 14-year career. Another reason behind Jey Uso dropping the IC title is that WWE cannot trade the YET Master to SmackDown while he holds the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental Championship is considered the mid-card title for the Red Brand, while the United States Championship, currently held by LA Knight, is designated for SmackDown. If WWE allowed Jey to return to the Bloodline saga with the IC title, they would have had to shift LA Knight to the Red Brand to swap the mid-card titles. Currently, Knight is engaged in a feud with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, making it illogical to trade him to SmackDown in the middle of a storyline. In WWE, title losses are often scripted to serve larger storylines, develop character arcs, or provide shock value to keep fans invested. When it comes to Jey Uso losing his WWE Intercontinental Championship on Raw, such a decision would be motivated by a combination of creative storytelling, strategic positioning within the roster, and future rivalries. Let's delve into 3 potential reasons why Jey Uso might lose the prestigious title, exploring both in-ring psychology and behind-the-scenes planning. One of the most significant reasons behind Jey Uso losing the Intercontinental Championship could be to elevate a new or returning star. In WWE, championship titles are often used as a platform to enhance the credibility of emerging talent. The Intercontinental Championship, known as a workhorse title, has a rich history of being held by superstars who are on the verge of breaking into the main event scene. By having Jey Uso drop the title, WWE could use this opportunity to elevate someone else into the spotlight. Take, for instance, a rising star like LA Knight or someone returning from injury like Randy Orton. Having Jey Uso lose to a talent with momentum would immediately establish the new champion as a credible threat. Let's assume a scenario where someone like LA Knight, who has been building significant fan support, defeats Jey Uso in a hard-fought match. This kind of booking would propel Knight to new heights, potentially setting him up for bigger storylines in the future. Moreover, WWE is known to surprise its fan base with unexpected returns. If a veteran like Randy Orton were to make a comeback and challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, it would create buzz and excitement. Orton's return would instantly become a focal point of Raw, and taking the title off Jey Uso would symbolize a torch-passing moment. A veteran winning the title could also signify WWE's intention to reset the championship picture, setting up longer-term feuds between new challengers. In this sense, Jey Uso's loss could be less about his character's failure and more about the WWE's broader storytelling goal of putting the spotlight on the next big thing, whether it's a rising star or a returning legend. Since Jey Uso's dramatic departure from the Bloodline and his subsequent arrival on Raw, he's been involved in a complex emotional storyline. The tensions with his brother Jimmy Uso, the ambiguous relationship with Roman Reigns, and his decision to join Raw have all created a layered narrative for Jey. Losing the Intercontinental Championship could serve to further deepen this storyline, exploring themes of inner conflict, failure, and eventual redemption. Imagine if Jey Uso's loss comes as a result of interference or distraction from someone tied to his past, perhaps Jimmy Uso or another bloodline member. This scenario would add another layer to Jey's internal struggles, portraying him as a character who is being constantly haunted by his family ties, unable to escape the shadow of the bloodline. The frustration of losing the title could push Jey to reevaluate his decisions, potentially leading to a darker, more aggressive version of his character. In many cases, WWE uses its title losses as a catalyst for character development. A defeat can drive a wrestler to evolve, bringing out new motivations, heel turns, or even redemptive arcs. Jey Uso losing the Intercontinental Championship could be the turning point that forces him to confront his identity crisis. Will he align with Damian Priest and the Judgment Day, seeking strength in numbers? Or will he remain a lone wolf, fighting to overcome his past demons? This loss could also position Jey Uso as an underdog, fighting to regain his place at the top of the card. WWE has a long history of booking redemption stories, and a determined Jey Uso working his way back to championship glory could be an engaging arc that builds sympathy from the audience. By losing the title, Jey's character would be given the opportunity to showcase resilience and growth, keeping fans invested in his journey. Another compelling reason why Jey Uso might lose the Intercontinental Championship on Raw is to set the stage for a major rivalry with someone like Damian Priest. Since joining Raw, Jey has already had interactions with the Judgment Day, and there have been teases of alliances or tensions between him and the faction. Losing the Intercontinental Championship could serve as the trigger for a full-blown feud, especially if Priest is involved in the outcome. If Damian Priest were to challenge Jey Uso for the title and either win clean or through nefarious means, it would instantly spark a heated rivalry. The Judgment Day has been a dominant faction on Raw, and adding the Intercontinental Championship to their list of accomplishments would further cement their dominance. In this scenario, Jey Uso's loss wouldn't just be about losing the title, it would become personal, leading to a grudge match or a series of high-stakes encounters between the two. Furthermore, WWE often uses title changes to stir up intrigue and drama in ongoing storylines. A rivalry between Jey Uso and Damian Priest could eventually lead to a marquee match at a major pay-per-view, such as Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Priest, with his Money in the Bank briefcase and his increasing influence within the Judgment Day, is poised to become a main event-level star. A feud with Jey Uso, especially over a prestigious title like the Intercontinental Championship, would elevate both men. This rivalry could also pull in other members of the Judgment Day, like Finn Balor or Rhea Ripley, creating faction warfare. Jey Uso could potentially align with other babyfaces on Raw, such as Cody Rhodes or Sami Zayn, to even the odds against the Judgment Day. The title loss would be a strategic move to set up weeks, if not months, of engaging storytelling centered around the personal conflict between Jey and Priest. Jey Uso losing the Intercontinental Championship on Raw would likely be driven by WWE's need to advance its broader storytelling goals. Whether it's about elevating a new or returning star, deepening Jey's personal storyline of inner conflict and redemption, or setting up a major rivalry with Damian Priest, the title change would serve a greater purpose in the WWE narrative landscape. Losing a championship is never just about a defeat. It's often the beginning of something bigger. For Jey Uso, dropping the Intercontinental Championship could pave the way for his character to reach new heights, whether as an underdog on the road to redemption or as a central figure in a major feud that captivates fans for months to come.